go on to this, can I just want to say, would anybody admit to having been hacked before? Oh yeah, that's excellent. Maybe it's not excellent, but it's illustrative of my point. Would anybody say that they're confident they would know if they've been hacked? I'm not either. How would I know? I think my confident prediction, the first of my predictions this evening, is that if I come up here in a few years' time and I ask people to raise their hands again, and if they're honest, there will be more hands raised. This is a growing problem. It's a growing threat. And it's a growing problem not just in the number of attacks, i.e. the number of people that get hit, but in the consequences of the attacks. And I'm going to develop that point a little bit more later. I'm going to look at some types of attacks. This shows 4 classes of attacks. I want to just tell you a little bit about these. Online identity theft. Okay, online identity theft has been around for a few years. What that means is your account details online, somebody captures them, starts to use them, pretends that they're you. We've heard of this. Most of us will have seen things in the newspaper related to this. But I'm thinking this is going to start to become more prevalent as our online identities become more important. What I mean is that the processes will be more and more online. The natural end point of this process is that our online identities and who we are on the net will start to become as important and then more important than who we are in real life. Sounds a little bit far-fetched, but consider it. Your money is virtual money. It's mostly online. Many people's work is hosted online, especially most software engineers. Even architects now can do their work online. They can build virtual buildings that many more people will ever see than real buildings. Artists, musicians, a growing part of what we are and who we are is online. Therefore, it's becoming more important. Online shopping, online banking. Already you can't find a phone box in many places. Soon you won't be able to find bank branches because it's cheaper to do it online. Does it make sense? Right? More and more importance is being placed on our online identities. Phishing is the ability of people to find out information about you, asking you leading questions, and just to find out as much as they can about you. And then to use this in a targeted attack to try and gain some advantage over you, usually monetarily. I've fallen for one of these. I've fallen from an email which came from Sun Microsystems. It really came from Sun Microsystems. And it said, get a free mug. All you have to do is complete these details. So actually, I was the mug. I completed all the details, sent it off. Just as I sent it off, I noticed that the address it was going to was a very suspicious address. This was a few years ago. I'm still waiting for my card. But attacks can follow you. They can lie low for years. Right? They can find out information about you and then not use it. Deliberately not use it. Wait until you win the lottery and become a millionaire. Then they use it. Okay? But how can people find out about you? Well, surveys is the #1 choice. You get an email asking for information. Replies to emails. Somebody emails you and you just reply. Email is inherently insecure. You should realize that with a little bit of effort, anybody can see any email you ever send. In Singapore, I think most emails will also be stored for examination. Many countries they are. Your replies to newsgroup, Twitter, Facebook. I'm not going to ask who uses Facebook. It's very much an age-based thing. I don't use Facebook. I'm on the wrong side of it. Remember, it's a one-way street. So any information you put out there on Facebook or anywhere else, and Facebook is bad because it correlates your information with other people. What I mean is, once you're correlated with somebody, then information that they give can be used to decide information about you. Like when you went to school, what neighborhoods you lived in, what companies you worked at. It's a one-way street. Information you release will stay out there in the internet potentially forever. And it's a drip feed of information, but that drip feed over many years can actually grow into a lot of knowledge that somebody can obtain. Let me ask you a question. Would you go to an American city and look for the worst area in the city? Sorry. Let's skip forward a long way. Would you go to the worst area in that city and you go and look for some gang member, somebody who looks really disreputable, and walk up to that gang member and just say, here's all my information. This is what I like to do. This is where my birthday is. This is how old I am, how much I earn, in a category. Where I live. Do I have an interest in collecting antiques? Do I like to track the price of gold? I've got gold in my house. Do I like vintage wines? How about photography? I've got expensive cameras. Do I like going on long overseas holidays? It means I'm not in my house all the time. Where do I work? Who my friends are? Who am I related to? Have I got kids? A car? Do I have any health problems? Think about the information that's been stored about us online in unencrypted form. Very simply. I mean, you don't give this to that gang member, so why give it online without thinking about it? I should go on. Mobile phone crime. This is known. We all know that GSM can be hacked. People can listen to your conversations. There have also been cases in the media of celebrities who had their phones hacked. I don't know if any of you have seen that. Celebrity phone hacked. People downloaded their photos, videos, contact list, call list, calendar, whatever. That's bad, but it's worse. That's static. That's a static attack. A dynamic attack is one that can happen at any time and is continuous. Any GSM phone inside the protocol has a method to activate the phone without your knowledge. In fact, it's very easy. You can receive an SMS. Normally you receive an SMS. The phone makes a noise, you pick it up and there's a message there. There's a binary class of SMS that your phone will interpret and not show you. And there's a certain SMSs that your phone can pick up, the phone can receive. It will not notify you, and yet that can be used to hack into your phone. Your phone can be activated so that the microphone is working, somebody can be listening to it, somebody can activate the camera without your knowledge, somebody can access GPS and the accelerometer. Basically, your phone, without you knowing it, except the battery goes down quickly. It happens all the time anyway. But now you know that your phone can be used at any time. That phone should be considered to be insecure. If you really are paranoid, totally insecure. This has been done. This has been proved, and you can even find tutorials on the internet as to how to do this. Generally, to do this, you need a rogue base station. That means somebody puts a GSM base station in the back of their car, drives it up to your neighborhood, taps into the system, and your phone is compromised. But there's other ways. If your phone has Bluetooth, and it's set up to accept incoming connections, it's very insecure. And even if it's not set up to accept incoming connections, there's 3 methods of Bluetooth attack that can be used at up to 1 kilometer using a Yankee antenna, highly directional antenna. 1.7 kilometers away, you can hack into somebody's phone, compromise it, turning it on, and allowing you to route any traffic to another phone, listen to it, watch the video, anything you want. Okay, costs. Reasonable amount of money to get the technology, but it's possible. Lastly, RFID coin. In the old days, we had cards we'd slide into a machine, we'd get our money out. These days, you've got cards you can wave in front of an antenna. And you've got an EasyLink card. You just put it there, and the system goes beep, and that takes the money out of your card. And consider this. The thing that goes beep is not the card, it's the reader. And the distance from the card to the reader is a function of the antenna power and directivity. Okay? There's nothing to stop you having a more powerful antenna and reading the card from further away, or further away, or further away, and further away. In fact, you could be walking down Orchard Road, somebody can send a direct pipe out an antenna to you and deduct money from your cards without you knowing it. You would never know. That's why in America there's some places that sell these wallets made of wire mesh. That's paranoia. But passports, your passport's now got an RFID card. Okay. Passports have been hacked. American passports, well, there's a video online as to how to hack into the American passport. It's fascinating. I've never done it. It's not just Israel that does this. Okay. Many of us have been brought up to have a hands-on approach, especially us engineers. We like to be able to do everything. We like to hack into systems ourselves just to understand how they work. We like to look in our system to discover the vulnerabilities for ourselves. Unfortunately, that's not possible anymore. We can't do that. We just cannot. One person cannot understand how something like a handphone works. In broad outline, yes, but in technical detail, no. So what we have to do is extend our trust. We have to trust somebody else that they've done their job properly, their professionals. We have to trust operating system providers, browsers, people that make the computers. I have this list. Who do you trust to make sure your online banking is safe? Just think about who you're trusting. Your bank, obviously. Their computer people, their computer department. The company they use to outsource their e-banking applications from, probably in India, because all software is written in India. The internet service provider that they use, the internet companies that transfer the packets, the internet service provider that you use, your computer manufacturer, the BIOS inside these computers, modern computers, it's got something called LoJack inside it. Many computer manufacturers use this. Basically, this gives a backdoor so that anybody can access your computer at a low level. It's designed to be used if your computer is stolen. The company that produces your operating system, load your browser, load other software on your system, plus anybody else that you let use your computer, or even let into the same physical location. You have to trust all these people. There's a lot of trust we're extending. So we're going to just keep that in mind as I just go on to the second point, which will be a lot quicker. Keep the trust issue in mind. So this is talking about the future of computing. Well, think about the future by starting off with the past. Okay, this is the amount of processing power of computers since 1941. And this is a quite staggering increase in the amount of processing capability that we have available in computers. In almost no other field of human endeavor can we see such an enormous increase in the amount that's being achieved. In fact, you might ask, where does all that 1 petaflops get used? If my computer is so much more powerful than it used to be, where is all that power going to? As you sit there waiting for your computer to boot up. Okay. Good question. Well, my own interpretation is the law of bloatware. Okay? And this is software side loads in direct proportion to the increase in memory and processing speed available in the average computer. Put it another way, it means that software engineers spend their days writing wasteful code that tries to do more and more and more, soak up the gains that hardware engineers spend their days putting into the computers. Hardware engineers make them faster, software engineers make them do more. Okay, so joking aside, let's learn from history. Let's look at computer science. This was Colossus, the first computer. Old computers are big, very, very big. Engineers, they worked hard to make the computers a little bit smaller. It's a fridge-sized computer.